Hi, Damunians. Here you see me in my best Irish outfit, and that's because we're going to talk today about one of the tracks on our new album Wednesday. The track is called Midweek Crisis. And it's more or less about Dublin. Um, why? Because Erosion, our last album, was packed with emotion. So, in fact, were all our previous albums. And, well, Erosion was even politically emotional. So, we thought we'd do something without that much emotion and go for something less emotional, more middle of the week, which just happens to be Wednesday, all right. More humdrum, more, the Irish Sea, if you've ever seen it, always looks slightly bleak. If you know Dublin, there's the Dart, the suburban train, kind of bleak. And in fact, on our very first album, All Tomorrows, I tackled that already in a song called Arklow, which is about humdrum and purgatory. Anyways, so Wednesday, middle of the week, midweek crisis, is an attempt to avoid emotion. So how to translate this bleakness, this grisly, slightly dark Irish Sea into, music. Well, let's look back a little, bite a little. In Baroque music, there were very few emotions in music, all right? There was rage, there was sorrow, there was joy, perhaps, just a few of them, all right? Then later on, Beethoven, Mozart, first of all. Mozart said, don't exaggerate with the emotions. Beethoven did. He included stuff in his annotations you can't imagine, telling the performer how exactly to the emotional dot, how to do things. In the 20th century, this reached a peak with music being extremely emotional and splitting between sad intellectual music, like Stravinsky, etc., which was explicitly sad or atonal at the most, and very happy music, operettas at first, later on blues, much later on rock music, whereas intellectual music became sadder and sadder and darker. Happier music became happier and happier. On Wednesday, at least on midweek crisis, I tried to avoid exactly that. I tried to write something bleak, unemotional, with very flat notes. I had hoped unprogressive, but it turned out to be very progressive in terms of rhythm. So this split in music, which happened in the 20th century, in my opinion, was between intellectual music, sorrowful, slow rhythms usually, not necessarily danceable, or if so, in awkward ways. And on the other hand, non-intellectual music, which was happy, danceable, and cheerful. On Midweek Crisis, I tried to avoid all that. So if you listen closely to midweek, you'll see that at least it starts off without any emotion, without any the whole bass riff, which you can see, which I will show you in a few seconds, is very basic and very unemotional. Now, the important thing about Midweek Crisis is, well, where it was shot, where it was recorded, sorry. It was here. I'm in a place in Portugal near Sintra, a very old estate which was bought by the government, is now, well, a public park of sorts. A place called Quinta da Riba Fria. If you ever come to Sintra, do visit it. Hardly any tourists here at all. This is where we recorded a very important part of this track, which I will show you now.
And this is the place where we recorded the mid-section for Midweek Crisis at Quinta da Riba Fria. Welcome to the cistern. On to Tiago.
This is where we recorded Midweek Crisis.
Eternal day, eternal day, no miracle, no
Toda a gente foi brutal, isto também foi um gozo enorme de gravar, né? Porque toda a gente esteve empenhada em expressar desinteresse total para o mundo. Quarta-feira, a coisa mais desinteressante que pode haver